Okay, welcome back to, it's the last week of the month, last Monday of the month, so we're doing a book review. This one I bought, I don't know how long ago. It's stained, it's, coffee stains and everything else on it. I bought it, as I said, I bought it a long time ago and decided to reread it, and I thought it would be a good inclusion. Just excuse the stains. But RJ Stewart, I definitely recommend RJ Stewart through and through. He is a brilliant author, he's a brilliant magician. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to this book on Amazon for anybody who does want to buy it. You'll probably find that most of his books, if not all of them, are now out of print. He's in his 70s now, I think he's 74 years old. But you can still buy new edition or new copies and used copies of a variety of his books. Some of the books are extremely expensive. I did see that one of them was like $530 or something like that. This one is normal priced, so I think it's $24 for the paperback. So I'm going to put a link to this onto Amazon. If you want to explore RJ Stewart even further, have a look at his other books, have a look at his old websites, have a look at dreampower.com, I think it was, if that's still around and available. But RJ Stewart is an expert in magic, Western inner mystery traditions, fairy tradition, very specifically fairy tradition, and also the Grail mysteries. He is an expert on Merlin. He has written a couple books on Merlin and the Grail mysteries, but he actually, he's a scholar. He did translate some old medieval texts regarding or relating to Merlin, King Arthur and the Grail mysteries, etc. He also translated the book by Reverend Robert Kirk, The Secret Commonwealth, which is Robert Kirk's explorations into the fairy world and the little people, the fair folk and such things. So great books, great studies, great magician, great person. So definitely advise having a look at RJ Stewart. So advanced magical arts. What are advanced magical arts? In the first section of the book, he actually goes into an examination of actual, what they are compared to what we find in most other Western mystery traditions. So he does comparisons with such things as Kabbalah and the approach that Golden Dawn took and such orders, but also makes it known, and I think it's very important to realize that all of these things were already present in the Western culture, in the Western traditions, with the Grail mysteries, with King Arthur and Merlin and all of that symbolism that surrounds that, with the Celtic and the Druidic. All of these things were already apparent, and they're already quite advanced, as advanced as what any of these other systems that do incorporate Eastern philosophies and Kabbalah into their own system, just as advanced as they are. So, we don't need to go and explore those avenues. We can stay, if you're obviously European, you can stay in your backyard and you can find all of the answers you need, all of the approaches, the practices and everything else. It does go a lot into mediation, which is kind of similar but different to channeling and possession work and things like that. Mediation is kind of working through all the energy of the spirits themselves, working through you, but directly rather than passively, or actively instead of passively. And that's what is incorporated a lot in what he speaks about in here. Obviously, it does go into things like, how the Kabbalistic tree relates to the underworld and such things. So he takes these apart, but he does try and keep a focus on the fact that the all of these things were already present and advanced in European magic and mythology and such things already. This book's a bit difficult to explain if you haven't read it. But you know, when we're talking about the advanced magical practices, what we're really talking about is going inward. It's kind of beyond ritual. It is taking ritual and it's applying different aspects to it, combinations of different things and symbolisms and talismanic images and such things. But it is very much about going within, into the inner self. He incorporates a lot of underworld initiation. He actually has a book titled Underworld Initiation, which goes specifically into that. But this is very much about underworld initiation. So it explores the inner mysteries, which are very important to the advancement of a magical practice. He splits it into 5 basic areas. So we have the Weaver, we have the Sun or Daughter of Light, the underworld, the vault, the mystery of Merlin. And these then have specific path workings and rituals that you can undergo in order to experience and explore these different areas and aspects. So for instance, just get to the beginning of the chapter. Experiencing the underworld. So this is the first one you go through. So it gives you an introduction, it explains everything within that, and then it has the specific, this specifically is a path working, so you can record this, and it's a long path working. The symbolism within this is incredible. You know, when we talk about doing path workings, what you're trying to do is you are exploring something in the astral or the underworld or the etheric world, whatever we wish to title that. But what we're doing is we are going from point A to point B, and we're taking a journey along that, a path work. And you know, path working itself kind of originates from the Kabbalistic tree of life, where you're exploring the path between 2 sephira. So that's where path working comes from. But the symbolism in here is so involved. As you're on the journey, as you're actually venturing along the path to get to the point where you need to go and experience the mystery that you're being led to, you are just taken into this other world completely and utterly. You are completely immersed in it. So these path workings are extremely long. You can obviously record them. You can see how long these are. I mean, this isn't just a simple guided visualization. This is quite intense. And then you go on to the next one, which is Experiencing the Weaver, which is about the goddess mysteries. You know, and it goes through the various things. There is a large emphasis on the Holy Guardian Angel, or the higher self, the Guardian Angel, and obviously that forms part of advanced magical arts. So you go into the vault. The path working is called the Hall in the Forest. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this because it is quite involved, but you experience the mystery of the Abbey, or the mysterious Abbey. The Abbey is very much a symbolic representation, a talismanic image, which is kind of tied into our subconscious, really, and it's the Abbey itself that you go and experience the mysteries. So you go through that one. Then it starts with those path workings, and then what happens is, let me just check it's this one. So this is the mystery of Merlin. Then what we find is it's not just a visualization that happens as you continue going. It is actual ritual formats that you start incorporating. And then when you get to the ritual of the Son of Light, we actually get to a full-on ritual format, with calling the east, south, west, north, and the mediator. It goes into a lot of different symbolism and imagery, such as using the Z pattern within a ritual format. It really is. It's just, there's a lot in here. There's a lot to actually go through, a lot to experience, a lot to untangle, a lot to kind of try and figure out what is actually going on, and through the experiences you actually have, continually going back and forth and getting more answers. So yeah, in the back of the book there's incantation, a creation ritual, the Merlin ritual itself. Let's just see, I think it was, that's just afterward. Okay, so that's the book. Obviously this one here is not what you would be buying when you go to the link to Amazon. This is a different edition, different cover design, but the same book. Alright, so as I said, if you want to go and explore RJ Stewart, go to the link that I've supplied. You can click through to all of RJ Stewart's books and you can have a look through them. There is a focus on an underworld initiation and the fairy tradition, large focus on that regarding his books, and then the Grail and Merlin mysteries, and within the fairy tradition is the Secret Commonwealth. As far as I remember, the Secret Commonwealth is still a free download. Just have to go and try and find that. Very interesting book. What Reverend Robert Kirk actually experienced, and the mystery behind it, and the myths that actually arose out of that. It's fantastic. It's just mind-blowing, really. Okay, so that is Advanced Magical Arts by RJ Stewart. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you go buy the book, hope you enjoy the book.